Uh, welcome to this session and this introduction on a very vast and famous subject now, which is AI. My name is Thomas Spiegel. I am the CIO Architecture and Data for L'Oréal Group, and I'm quite fan of computer science data and obviously lately AI. So today we'll speak about the way we can augment and we are augmenting at L'Oréal Group our business with AI. At L'Oréal, as we are collectively shaping the future of innovation and beauty together, data remains crucial to any of our decisions. Yet, it necessitates what we call the supplément d'âme, so an influence on our collective intuition to embrace our purpose in creating the beauty that moves the world. Part of this is now AI, but an AI that is reflecting the L'Oréal DNA. Just for you, I imagine that most of you are already consumer of our fabulous products, but what is L'Oréal Group in a nutshell? It's by far the number one in beauty worldwide, with quite numerous employees all over the world, serving more than 150 countries with 37 global brands, net sales which are obviously increasing every year, and foremost, still a link between L'Oréal and the science, which is perfectly reflected with a number of patents we are filing every year. Part of these patents, by the way, are linked to AI and Gen AI topics. I was speaking about 37 brands. These brands are organized in 4 different divisions, addressing different market and different go-to-market. And why is it so important? It means that to create the coherence in all the type of cosmetic we are serving, we need to have a lot of data, but also to augment more and more our capabilities in order to serve our consumer in a better and better way on a daily basis. How do we see AI and Gen AI in our evolution? First of all, we consider that as an essential brick, but one of the many tech transformation that we are addressing, that we have been addressing in the last 5 years. I would specifically perhaps focus on the cloud and computing power capabilities. Why? You will see after that obviously to make AI at scale in a group like ours, we need data, a lot of data. To host this data, more and more we are relying to various cloud capabilities. So in our opinion, there could be no AI at scale without these cloud capabilities. And that's because we start this cloud journey, we moved to cloud journey 5 years ago, that we are now in a capacity everywhere in the world to scale up. It's also linked to computing power. Some of you know perfectly that AI at scale mean a lot of computing power, and obviously provisioning these new capabilities is much easier when we are on the cloud. The second aspect on the way we see and we want to address AI in the group is an holistic manner. Obviously, and I will come back to it, Gen AI, for now almost 2 years, have been focusing most of the energy. But we do see the holistic way from machine learning to deep learning that can reinforce our capabilities in any kind of business. We see that obviously, once again, the need for massive data ingestion is there. massive capabilities in terms of computing, but we have a conviction, which is that most of our advanced use cases are in fact a combination all of this type of AI together. What does it mean? It means that we have internally and also sometimes with external partners to master most of these disciplines in order to truly create a differentiation at scale in our industry. Obviously, in the last 2 years, we have all seen this fabulous rise of generative AI. As you perfectly know, generative AI is not necessarily a brand new subject. At L'Oréal, we were filing a few patents a couple of years ago, especially to power our virtual try-on capabilities. Yet, this rise is impressive. It helps us to address much more our mass market, but also globally, internally at L'Oréal, to augment all of our employees with these new capabilities. Yet, it also comes with a lot of open questions I will address a bit later in this keynote. It's also deeply impacting our business model. In many industries, we are all seeing the impact of this AI and Gen AI revolution. In our industry, we have taken a bet, which is to combine together beauty and tech together, creating what we call the beauty tech experience. Yet, and obviously, the COVID crisis has accelerated the need for this type of capabilities in order to make sure that we can address what the aspiration for beauty for each of our consumers. And you see in all of these examples that it's always a combination of tech and AI together with a model transformation of a business that makes this differentiation, that creates new actors, and that revolution people like us that have been in the business for more than 110 years. The second thing which is important is the way it can address and impact the way the people, in our case also partly our consumer, are living. Obviously, more and more people on Earth are connecting. So producing obviously a lot of data that are the basis to train this new kind of AI model, but also having more and more inspiration to get some much more highly personalized model. Obviously, the way people are also buying the product is drifting dramatically, and we have to adapt our business and go to market at this speed. At L'Oréal, we are addressing up to 1.2 billion consumers that are buying our products. It means a lot of people to satisfy, obviously. So, in this world of choice, obviously, people do not want to be seen as one. We have entered in a world of extreme personalization. Each of us has an aspiration. We want to have a unique capabilities in terms of our beauty quest. And that's where AI is certainly one of the way, if not the way, to address this new quest. For the sake of everybody, you see that we move from a universalization of beauty in our case to a logic where we want to give the beauty capabilities for all, moving to this extreme personalization, what we call, since 2030, the beauty for each logic. Beauty for each, and to face this new paradigm, means a new paradigm in terms of beauty and tech. As I was explaining, it means a way we can combine the world of beauty, what we have been doing forever, with these new tech capabilities. It means in terms of tech a lot of things. I was speaking about the move to cloud things. It means that we have to gather and be able to manage more and more data. And AI, to put AI capabilities at scale in every geography, in every go-to-market, leveraging this mass of data. Here, as you understand, I have introduced the first things. Data and specific data matters in any AI journey at scales. As you will see, we are addressing and using AI in many aspects of our business. During this presentation, I will just go through three of the main domain: the content creation, the service to our consumer and customer, and also the care of our consumer. Let's start first with content creation. I imagine you all feel that L'Oréal is having a lot of content creation in terms of advertising and obviously digital content. But to make that happening, and it's a strong belief, and it's a second strong message of this keynote, we do believe that this must be done in a responsible manner. We do believe that the responsible usage of AI is a key differentiator, if not the way to operate for a group like L'Oréal. We do see fabulous addition in terms of creative process of Gen AI, but in a given manner. And obviously, yes, Gen AI on various aspects of our capabilities do represent a fabulous production efficiency level that we want to put at scale. As you know, and as you can feel, generative AI at scale is still not a mature tech. I used to say that personally, I think we are at 1% of the vision of Gen AI we will have in 10 years' time. We are at the very, very early beginnings. What does it mean? It means that obviously the question of IP rights is a question in the way we are using data to train our AI, but also in the way the IP rights are truly applied in whatever production we are making with these AI things. It means that bias and inclusivity, which are part of the L'Oréal DNA to manage it well, are still sometimes a question mark. We all know that most of the models are still trained with a lot of bias originally. It means, and any of us can sense it in the last weeks and months, that the deep fakes question is at stake. It means that tomorrow the risk of having people faking our products, selling them as deepfake exists at a level which has never been there before. And last but not least, the question of a sustainable usage of these new AI capabilities as it's consuming more and more power and energy is a question mark. We want to be able to truly measure the level of energy which is being used within our AI. For instance, one of the first decisions we took in this journey is to say that any visual of human you will see in our advertisement cannot be AI generated. The rest of the things can, but we decide to say that we want to create a beauty and products that are real for real people, like any of you. It must be true people in our advertisement. Yet, we see that, as I was saying, in terms of creativity, as a fabulous space in order to enhance that. We did create what we call a Gen AI beauty content lab, which can go from text to image to video and so on, in order to power this creativity. It is done at scale for any of our brands on platform and solution that we are partly developing internally, partly developing with external partners. And what do we do? What can we do with all of that? Imagine the future of you in a hair salon. It's an artist's view, obviously, that, but it's obviously a way which is very important. For things like that, we are obviously using most of the usual LLMs you can imagine, from Stable Diffusion to Anthropic, or, for instance, to other models that are well known in the solution in the world. AI is also for you, in terms of creativity, a way to imagine new ingredients. And obviously, it starts from the RNI, so meaning imagining new formulas and new type of ingredients or new way to replace some ingredients to permanently enhance our formulas, till the marketing side of it in order to package it in the best manner. You see here some true elements of what we are doing. Still, in terms of creativity, it goes also to the packaging side. Here you see a first direct picture uh, created in this case with Midjourney without pre-training. And just after, I can present to you an augmented experience. Here it's a Mugler perfume flacon, which is being augmented with Gen AI, but a Gen AI that has obviously been pre-trained with some of the digital assets we are having for this brand. You can feel, I imagine, very clearly and simply the difference. So, still, we have a strong belief that today creative experts still make the difference. What I just showed to you is the way within the creative chain, from the concept to the visualization to the prompt, we are using or augmenting our creating expert, yet having the human factor making the difference at the end of it. And you see here the way along our chain we are guiding in our creative process on the upper side with the Gen AI tools, the creation of a thing, and then the real world production, which is still very, very linked to true realities and true effect. And we are combining both to once again augment our expert. Let me now go to the service side of that. Obviously, I was introducing before the beauty for each concept. When we speak about ultra personalization, it means using your data in order to create an experience which is unique, which is yours. It starts from acquisition of data together with a large database we have within virtual reality things that we have. Here it's a guiding part. Then we can diagnose through specific AI and algorithm we have the best way we could serve your beauty quest. Predict also what could happen in the coming years, looking at the current way that your skin, for instance, is. Present some unique personalization, and here you have a connected device that is creating very specific cosmetic things linked to the data we have gathered just before. And then obviously coach and give you the best routine with that for you in order to apply all of the fabulous product we have. All of that at each stage that I just described is being done with a combination of ML, deep learning, and generative AI. That's what I was explaining, meaning that the combination of all of this kind of AI that make this magic happening. All of that must be done, and that's obviously the scale effect of a company like ours in a worldwide manner for each and any brands we are doing. It comes to things that you can directly use on our websites or mobile app on virtual try-on capabilities. It goes to advanced diagnostic things and some new polysensorial things. Later today, I know that one of my colleagues, Mr. Lanuzel, will have some specific session on this. Still, there are many pain points that can be solved, especially within the content overload risk, meaning a digital overload that could be given to you. The fact that the personalization of the guidance is key because you are unique, the guidance must be unique. And obviously, we are limited on the Go information as per rules. Another thing that we announced a bit earlier this year at CES is what we call the beauty genius, which will be a way to have for each of you in the pocket a democratized manner to have beauty service together with generative AI. What does it mean? Is that from this tool, you will have your personalized diagnosis through your mobile apps, some personalized recommendation, and obviously the personalized education and the routine in order to make that happening. It's linked obviously to a lot of data we have obviously internally, but it means that we have also to make sure that the relevancy, the empathy of these things, and obviously the latency of this answer is well managed. That's a subject we have been working now for more than 1 year before unveiling it lately. And now let's address the third part of the topic, meaning the care of our services. Today, internally, we consider that 60% of our agent handling time are dedicated to non-value added, at least for you, admin task. Obviously, we have a good case for using GenAI at scale in terms of intent detection of the type of question you have, to directly have even more relevancy in terms of Q&A management, and obviously for any of our consumer to make sure that we are giving you the best possible way to administrate your personal case. This is being done today through various type of tech, not yet at scale, but obviously it means a lot of things in terms of, once again, various tech stack integration, but also a lot of change management. Obviously, all what I just present to you means internally and externally an understanding on the way we will augment our daily task with this type of feature. So I wanted just to finish this keynotes after all of these examples with a few facts and conviction I wanted to share with you. I think I repeated several times the fact that today, mastering and combining several types of AI truly makes a difference. A one-way AI logic or strategy is not making a difference. The second one, and it calls for a lot of agility in the way we invest, is that we are still at the very, very early beginning. We must have agility to adapt, and also to change our model. A model you are choosing today cannot necessarily be the one in 1 month or 6 months time from now. It means that we have to permanently switch on, switch off, scale up a few things. A lot of agility. You have understood that obviously, in our opinion, data and information makes a difference. Specifically specific information for your domain and also the right volume of data. You understand that more and more for any company, for any business, your unique capacity to combine and interoperate many sources of data internal, external, or even within the group, within a given group, all of that together is a must. Each time you have silo of data that you cannot interoperate, it will definitely degrade the AI and Gen AI capabilities. Next point is obviously around the difference between proof of concept, very easy to do, any of you can make it in a couple of days or weeks, and the true industrialization. If I have an advice to share with you is that think industrialization very early in the process, especially with this type of things. Otherwise, the scale up will be simply impossible. And also impossible because of my last point, which is that the cost of scaling, so the business case below, could be a question. Today, a lot of POC are very impressive in terms of results, but could have or could be limited by their cost of scaling. So it has to be done, obviously, in a very wise manner. So last but not least, I think that any of you have to try to master internally within your organization, because we truly believe, I truly believe, it is a key differentiator. Thank you. I see a few questions here, things. Question around the Gen AI tools we are using. First of all, I will say any of them. Any of them, I tend to usually answer that we are still in a Darwinistic approach, meaning we try to take the good of any people. And obviously, it has to be tools that can be scaled up, as I was saying, which is quite often a question mark. Another question, is AI actually relevant for our industry? I tend to say I've been work with many industries that yes, it could be relevant in many kinds. Should it be applied for all the industry in the same manner? As you have understood, certainly not. For instance, at L'Oréal, the creative part is a nice business case, which will not necessarily be relevant for other industry. Is there any chance that AI can give incorrect advice or guidance? Surely, for sure, obviously. And by the way, at the stage we have today, there is still a human factor before the final usage and the AI advice in order to make sure that the relevancy of what is being done is there. Human judgment at the stage we are today is still a key. Another question, for instance, how does AI contextualize new data or information that may not exist in historical database? More and more, here we are touching a subject I did not go, which is a rise of new synthetic data. Synthetic data will be the right way to make the gap between the existing data and the future. Also, synthetic data topics is a very interesting way in order to comply in a good manner with any data privacy rules and laws that are very important for business at scale. So I think we are now over. I hope you enjoy this keynote introduction. I know you will have fabulous other keynotes today, so please enjoy your time. Thank you for participating.